Back. I told you I'd be back. By now, you've all probably heard and seen we've had an X flare, and here we are over here at the absorption map. And I'm just going to let this loop play for a minute so you guys can see it. I'm trying to capture it before it updates so much that we miss the initial flare strike. So I'm just kind of getting this for video posterity for tonight's later report as well. But I figured I kind of hop in here, give you guys a little update as to what's going on, what happened, and what to expect here because this is not good. All right. Even though the flare or the CME is heading away from us, the flare itself obviously hit, and now we're having a long duration proton event here. If it'll play this rest of this, there we go. Try to get these wavy lines out of there. I want a good capture for tonight's show here because this will update throughout the day before I get to tonight's show, and we'll miss the initial strike. So I'll let this play for a minute. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hopping by here. Most of y'all have heard here. I'm a little late to my own show here, but we've had an X flare, and now we're having one of these long duration proton events. All right. And I'm just going to let that kind of play there a couple more times for a minute, and then there's your initial X flare strike, an X3. We were talking about a potential X flare last night. Thankfully, it was facing away from the planet and not so much directly at us, but we did catch the edge of it. We did catch the glancing blow of it. And over here, I'm a stickler for absorption here. And this is not good. This is added energy down at the core that's going to result in more earthquakes and more volcanoes. All right. And let that play one more loop there, and then we're going to start hopping into a solar report and an earthquake report here real quick. In fact, you know what? Now we got a few people. We just need to get over here right now because what's going on here in Southern California, right here at Santa Barbara, or at Malibu, sorry. These are red. Okay, I'm trying to get the proper color. These are brand new quakes that are popping off right here. We got a 4.6 with a little tsunami warning thing here. Let's even open that up and see if they give us another magnitude, possibly 4.7. All right. So they're 4.6 to 4.7 with some other quakes here. A 3 right there, a 3 off the coast, or a 2.7 off the coast here. All right, so this region is waking up here. Everybody take notice. Here's LA right here. All right, everybody just got hit with the storms and the water and everything. Now you're having quakes right next door. All right, so other regions that are waking up as well is Hawaii here. All right, you see these quake swarms starting to fire up already. Okay, the largest one was a 5.7 earlier today, and now we're having these little, well, they're mid-range 2s going off. So we're having Hawaii having quakes waking up. The pressure is already starting to distribute. Right here's one off the coast, 2.6 as well. The initial strike when it hit, we had a 6.1 down here in New Zealand at a depth of 10. And then let's come on up to here and get into these deep quakes here. So far today, we've had a 4.5 here down at 542, a bigger 5.3 down at 541, and down here is a 4.5 down at 598. So we've already had 3 deep quakes. 4.9, that's the 5 energy at the surface. Kind of going up through here. So This new solar flare is going to produce some earthquake and volcano activity here, pretty already starting. You see right here, this is my main concern right here. There's like a new weak spot. All the water that inundated this area seeping down into the fault lines and stuff could weaken them. And now we are having, like I said, a little quake swarm right here, and this already has a small tsunami alert. I doubt there's going to be a tsunami. This is on land, but it triggered that effect. Then also, let's come backwards now. So here we are. Here's our X flare. Let's go ahead and just zoom in on this real quick. I'm sure you've all seen this probably already, but let's just get it real quick here. All right. Get these lines out of there too. As you can see, long duration X flare, X3.8, I think it was. Remember we were talking about the X flare potential at 25? Well, that was why, because that was coming. It's still not posted, but I believe it was an X3.8 or 3.3. Anyways, let me zoom back out of this here a little bit. And it caused your R3 radio blackout, short little radio blackout there for a minute. And where was it going? Oh, yeah. Now, let's come on down here to the tracker. You see this region right here as it's leaving the limb? This is where it came out of, but it was just behind the limb. We caught a glancing, little strike coming off the side of it, but it's so far to the side here that when I open up the tracker here, let's get this just pulled up anyways. There we go. There you go. Moving away, and you can even see the side doesn't really even come close to clipping us. So we're probably not going to see CME activity out of this one, but we did catch the X-rays and the light that's still shown at an angle like this. And the last time this happened, we had that X5 or whatever. It had a long duration proton event. And now here we are again with one of these big X flares. Not big, but an X flare is a big flare. Then also over here on this one, if we can get this one to pull up again, play the movie. And this is showing a different one now. Okay, this is one that left the 10th. You see this right here down below? Clipping the planet on the 13th. So we're expecting energy on the 13th. Just a side glance, just a side swipe from this little CME that comes out of this direction. We've had multiple CMEs. So there's that one right there clipping us on the 13th. All right, now let me back out of this real quick. Oh, here we go. Now here's the seed satellite. The data's finally up a little bit now, so I'm gonna let that play for a second. Let you see. Boom! There's your huge X flare right there, and you see how wide the field was when it exploded here. Almost, from here all the way around to here. This is the only part that really doesn't have any of this explosion. This was a very, very wide, broad. See these streaks right here? That's how broad this whole event was. All right. So we're still going to see some of this energy. Now, as I continue to play this, watch the proton storm over on the right side. It follows it. See all the speckling? So, X-flare, long duration, proton event, and that was quite a good blast. Thankfully, it wasn't just directly aimed at us, because we don't need a CME that large hitting us and having to absorb even more energy. Now back here at this, we are going to have residual effects. You see the energy that got absorbed right there. Now our long duration proton event. Watch for all kinds of volcanoes to start jumping from the semi-active list to fully erupting. Watch for these new earthquakes, swarms like this. There's a new potential weak spot. We'll watch it closely because there's 3 brand new quakes just recently right here. All right, so this energy isn't taking long. Once absorbed, it doesn't take long now to have the residual effects of earthquakes and volcanoes. So let that play there for another sec. I'm trying to capture, because this whole event from right there at the impact, because it'll keep updating throughout the day, and then we'll lose the impact and we'll only have the proton event by tonight's stream, by tonight's show. So kind of also doing this so we can reference this later on tonight in the show, and we'll talk more about especially the length of this proton event. Hopefully it's a short one. It's not a super long duration one. What was the last one? 4 days or something? But you can see how this area that was green is filling in red, the southern hemisphere. We got green across the top, but there's still red up here. That's the highest impact. So there's the initial strike. And then boom, proton. Whoops. Oh, it's going to replay it for us. Good. The strike. Yeah, that's what I wanted to catch, was the strike right there. Because this long duration proton event, like I said, we'll have data up all night on this. So here we go, folks. Hold on tight. We got X flare, long duration proton event, lots of absorption, X-Sorbtion from X-rays. All right, that's why I kind of nicknamed this X-Sorbtion, because we're having absorption but X-rays and proton event. Okay, so not good. And I mean, we can all pray and stuff and do our best at praying, but there are going to be residual side effects. We just can't stop that. Here, down here at this region, we still have, this was from last night. Oh, there's a few more here. That one, and that one. So we're having 3 quakes down in this region. See how energy can push up this way as well. We also had a small quake here, a 2.9 off of Petrolia. Watch out for more activity along fulcrum points here, weak spots. Another area that we should probably start watching, or we might see our activity. Notice how we've had our deep activity here. We've had the 6.1 here at the surface, but nothing else really going up into this region. Pretty soon there's probably going to be, I would say, a magnitude 6.5 to 7, possibly even bigger, going maybe possibly in this area. Another effect that happens too is we get this lulling effect where pressure builds up underneath the plate and almost freezes it and keeps activity from happening. So we could see a little of both. This might stay quiet through this region and we'll all see the energy come out over here, or we could possibly see a buildup with no activity for a while and then a big release. What we had this spot right off of this island right here, there's nothing there right now, but a possible area to watch. That was a weak spot. That the other potential place would be up here at Japan, where we had that quake in the series up there, the new weak spot. There's a 4.1 sitting there. but that looks like it was before the event. Let's just check this one while we're here. A 4.7 as well. So just very quiet in this area. Expect to see uptick in volcanoes, the magnitude of them as far as their height, their explosive height and everything. Also over here, look at this. In Italy, a 4.3. So activity down below this thing is waking up. This is that quake in Turkmenistan there. Yeah. And then we got our two main regions that are active right now are Hawaii and California. You can see the red dots going off here and the red dots going off right there. What was the other thing? Okay, we saw this one. This is our X flare heading away. We saw this one. This is our smaller flare off to the side coming down, just clipping us by the 13th, as well as we have inbound energy from the 6th that's hitting us today. Remember, we were talking about that last night. So a lot going on. We're absorbing a lot of energy, and it's going to result in earthquakes, volcanoes, wild weather. That's the other one. Our weather is about to take an uptick here. And we'll do a weather report later on tonight. I just pretty much wanted to capture this D region absorption event right here before it shifts, further down the line and we lose the original strike. And then I also kind of just want to let you guys know, even though the X flare or the CME itself isn't heading our way, we did take some energy in. And it's not really about the CMEs or the X-rays or anything. It's really about absorption. How much do we absorb on any little strike on any given day just from regular sun activity? Okay, absorption. I swear there's a reason why I'm a stickler for this, and you're all about to see a textbook case again, just like we saw last time. You're about to see this. I'm not trying to predict this. I'm not trying to scare you. In fact, I'm trying to prepare you. Everybody get ready to start seeing some crazy stuff in the next couple of days here. We're already seeing events, all right? This is what's going to be interesting. What's going to happen around here, all right? Everybody in Southern California, I know it's hard to be aware right now. You're out there cleaning up after the storm, but now hold on, you might be experiencing some shaking while you're doing that. I'm dreading tonight's show already, but we will see what happens. We can pray for the people in these regions, pray that we have a even distribution of energy, that it's not just a big pop off of one. Bingo. I saw it in the chat. 6.1. Thank you, Kung Fu Grasshopper. They say 5.7, but bingo. Big quake right there in Hawaii today. And that was probably right when it first struck. And now you're seeing the activity since. Thank you, Kung Fu Grasshopper. I was looking at that earlier and I forgot to click on it and show you guys that. So you're a good Grasshopper for reminding me. And look offshore here. All right. This is no joke over here, too. 3.0 and 2.9. We could see possible underwater event as well. 2.6. our activity really seems, usually we see this stuff over here in the archipelago over here. But now that this is so quiet and you see in these two spots, Hawaii and here, lighting up, um, yeah, we had a 6.1 and another 6.1 up here at Hawaii. So expect a jump in magnitude. Oh, bingo, just happened. Fulcrum Point quake, 5.1 at the surface, 10 depth of 10, right here on the plate boundary, right by our fulcrum point. That just happened. Okay, 3 spots to watch. Boom, boom, boom. It's firing off right now. From this moment forward, everybody hold on tight. It doesn't matter what region you're in either, because we're seeing diverse quakes. Watch out up here in Iceland. You're going to see this curtain go back up again, probably. More eruptions out of this area that has just kind of died down. Expect to see an uptick up there. All of our volcanoes through the archipelago here, especially on Java. What else? Large earthquakes at the surface. See, when we have one 4.5 per day, then it puts that 5 energy at the surface. But we've had a 4.5, a 5.3. Mind you, these numbers are probably a couple lower. And a 4.5. These three, you got to combine these 3 deep quakes here. It's not just this one or just the other. This energy down below is building and building, and you see our deeper quakes. We've had 3 of them already. Yeah, we're about to see some earthquakes go off, some volcanoes go off. Seriously, it's already underway. And we got this one. Oh, no, that's the one coming in on the 13th. I wanted to show you the one that's coming in tonight. But that's the 13th. It's over here. So we're going to back out of that one. Today being the 9th, what came off the sun on the 6th is hitting us now as well. That was the full halo. You guys remember this day, the full halo CME just the other day? And we're talking about this one down below. The halo one's missing us, but it was this one down below that's hitting us right there. That one, and then there's a secondary one right there. Okay, so we're having energy hit early in the day on the 9th, and then we're also having a second wave of energy possibly hitting us right at the end. Actually, let's start that over again, because there's, yeah, that one at the end. There's one there. That one right there. Okay, so not only did we just get hit with the X flare and all the proton storm, but we're also getting hit from the energy from this blast right there on it that was on its way to strike us today as well. So we are taking on more than what you're just seeing on this map. All right. This is just recording the event. We are also getting added energy that might make this. You see how this region's turning red? There's red up here as well. That's the maximum right there. If this had stayed all blue, or if this had just gone green and blue, but we got red with red. We had a red strike, and we're getting hit with the CME as well. We're taking a lot of energy in today, and it's already starting to result at the surface pretty quickly. And I'm wondering, what am I going to be reporting on tonight's show in 6 or 7 hours from now? what's going to happen between then and now, or between now and then. Anyways, yeah, don't fear. Don't fear. This is all good news. This is all part of the process. It's hard to see it that way, but it's all kind of indicating what's going on. Anyways, I don't have a reading. There's no spiritual report tonight. This is just to basically update you guys. I'm sure you've all heard about it already. I'm kind of late to the show, but I wanted, like I said, to capture this. We can refer back to this later tonight and have the data for tonight's show. So Mr. MBB says a swarm happening in Malibu. Yep, that's what we just talked about. Right about here. Boom, boom, boom. We have your swarm in Malibu going on. There's your 4.6, which was a 4.7 more likely, or even higher. 3.0 and a 2.7. All because we just took in a bunch of energy. This wouldn't be happening if we hadn't taken in a bunch of energy. This place was calming down as well. We've had a 6.1 here at Hawaii, and now a quake swarm there too as well. So I was just kind of double backing there for somebody's comment in the chat. And thank you for your comments, you guys. You're awesome. All right, so here you're going to hear all kinds of stuff from everybody else. All right, that's fine. A lot of people are figuring it out as well now. And just in the meantime, everybody, you can come over here to the USGS and monitor this as well. But here's another just recent quake, 5.1 here at Peru at a depth of 10. All right, I think that might be it for now. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Jeremy, for being here. Watchwoman, New Insight, Tiger's Eye. Our Boyd, there you are, Boyd. New Insight. Just kind of thinking a few people here at the end real quick. All right, yeah, some regulars. Good. My regular family. All right, so there's your little heads up, your alert and everything. And this absorption event is going to continue to go on in the background. But now that it's already hit, it's time to start monitoring this. And you know what? Let's just go over and open up the volcano page and do a quick volcano report for future reference before and after. All right, look, 28 erupting. Whoops, can you see that? 28 erupting, 17 and warning. Day. All right, Fuego, 16,000 feet. Okay, this is Recahenus, Luatobi, 7,000 feet, Luato, 7,000. I think this is the same from last night. Yeah. Semaru, 14,000. Watch these elevations increase. 14,000. Watch, it'll go up to something even higher. Marapi, 12,000. It'll increase. Ducono, 10,000. Expect that to increase. 22 at Popo. Expect that to increase. Fuego, 15. All of these. Nevada del Ruiz, 26. Okay, we got this list already. Let's start looking at what might go off here. Aoba, Bangana, Cotopaxi, especially Cotopaxi here in Ecuador. This one just recently hopped on the list as our new addition. And minor activity or eruption warning, 3 out of 5. Expect to see that jump to 4 out of 5 in interruption phase probably here real soon. Back out. Etna. Watch out for Etna going off. Let's open this one up real quick. Thank you for your patience. We got nothing else to do at this moment, so we're just going to start kind of doing a little monitoring already. I got a moment to do this. All right. Here we go. Here's Etna. The paroxysm ended abruptly. The aftermath is impressive. Anyways, watch out for Etna. A powerful eruption is in progress at the volcano now, known as paroxysms. The paroxysms, my bad. The southeastern crater produces a strong lava flow. Ba-doom. Alrighty. Fountaining episode in progress. I was just trying to warn you, watch out for this, and it says fountaining episode in progress. So, Etna, put it over here on the list. Let's go. I'm sure up here in the Aleutian Islands, these might come to life. There's not many people around there. Kilauea. Let's talk about Kilauea now. Opening this up. I was just going to wrap it up, but now we're extending into the volcano report. Please, Lord, can we please have this? It's like very important right now. There we go. Kilauea volcano, Hawaii, current activity and eruption update. Minor activity or eruption warning, 3 out of 5. They're showing 3 neat little quakes right there, but the seismic activity and ground deformation at the volcano has significantly decreased. Over the past 24 hours, the earthquake frequency between the summit area and the southwest region along Koa's fault system has slowed down. All right, this is an old report. Remember, we saw it. They said it has slowed down. We have now come over here and seen it uptick now. So I'm updating their little article to say that there is now activity here going on at Kilauea. Back to here, though, and backing out of that and getting rid of that. Going on. Watch out for Kilauea. Manam. This is one that jumps back and forth as well. Mayone here. Let's see what we got here. Minor activity or eruption. Mayone volcano. Reportedly, that unrest continued at Mayone from the 31st to the 6th. Phreatic, oh, this is on Sunday, February 4th, though. Okay, so volcanoes, Mayone, watch out for Nevada del Ruiz. In fact, it should be already over there. Vieja, you're in Costa Rica. Watch out for that one to wake up. And never forget this sleeper, even though it hasn't done anything. It's the one that's produced the biggest blast this year. Uluwan could possibly, it's been building up for a long time. Also, where to go? Please, where is it? Huh. Here, Krakatoa in the Sunda Strait. This is one we got to be concerned about as well. It's the one that produced that big blast. All right. It's currently erupting, 4 out of 5. Okay, so we got to watch out for a bigger blast possibly coming out of this one as well. All right. All of these volcanoes, everybody take note what's going on right now as compared to what will probably be happening later on tonight, an increase in activity there. come back over here real quick if we can, Lord, please. All right. So there is your absorption for right now. We took on some X-rays. We're taking on a proton event. We're taking on a CME that came off the sun 3 days ago. All three at the same time. Okay, so we are having some major absorption right now. And are you guys absorbing this? Is this like sinking in yet? Can you wrap your head around what you're looking at here and what's about to happen possibly here? Yeah, lot of energy coming in. The southern hemisphere, we even got it up here in the northern hemisphere too. So boom. And you can see it kind of flare up every once in a while. And whenever there's a little pop or a crackle, that's more energy coming in. Doesn't matter if it's a CME or not. Any kind of little added glowing on this instrument is not good. All right. And now the Earth is going to have no choice but to pop off and react. So everybody hold on tight. Get your plans together. If you're in one of these areas, have an earthquake plan, backup plan. Are you going to bug in? You going to bug out? What you going to do? You call your neighbors. What are they doing? Touch base with everybody. Get your supplies ready. Take precautions. This is not to scare you. It's to warn you. You can see, I'm just referring to this instrument and what it's telling us and what to expect. All right, you guys here at this channel all understand how this works. And I'm basically just kind of retelling it. So for anybody who's new or trying to understand more about how this works, this is energy directed to the poles right here and right here, gets transferred to the core. The core is going to heat up and swell. In fact, I bet our Schumann is not looking good. Let's even open up the Schumann, shall we? Because last night we were in the middle of an event. And let's see how it's progressed since then. Come on. Spinny. Yeah. And way down here now. Let me just even we'll do the shuffle here. Yeah. Not good. We took on this blast right here, and it made the core and the shell screech like a banshee. And then it stopped, had a little pop, then came back to life again a little bit. Whoops, let me get right there. Came back to life again a little bit right in here, and now slamming on the brakes again and having just a big old screeching event. That's your core, shell, grinding on each other at the barrier right there, creating these low frequencies, even higher frequencies now because it's screeching so loud. You know what I wish I had still? How many of you guys have ever seen like the little wooden bird calling, chirping little thing? It's basically a metal wedge that goes into a wooden cylinder, and the harder you push the wedge into the wooden cylinder and twist it, the higher pitched chirps and screeches and pops you get out of it, right? Well, that's the same thing with the core and the shell. The harder you kind of drive them together and twist them, you're going to get higher frequencies and this kind of reaction, okay? It's a bird call. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, we got one in Yosemite, and it was a toy for me for the longest time. And I would sit there and practice all these different little sounds you could make out of it, and you could, very slightly push it into the wood and it would make a very low sound. But then you could push it in there really high and hard. Well, that's the same effect. I wish I had one to show you, but I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And that kind of gives more of a physical representation for your mind to grab a hold of to represent what's going on down there at the core level. When that core is free and it spins freely inside the shell, that rotation inside metal, inside of like plasma, or metal inside of like magma, rotating creates a magnetic field. That's what creates the magnetic field for our planet, right? Well, that magnetic field hums at a certain frequency, 7.83 hertz. It's the hum of the earth. It's the frequency of the magnetic field. And you can see when when the magnetic field gets weak, we get these little breaks like this. This is what I'm more worried about. This is going to cause, once we come out of this, we will see a drop and a little break like that and a weakening of our magnetic field. These absorption events not only cause chaos as far as earthquakes and weather and volcanoes, they also weaken our magnetic field. When that bird chirper gets so locked up that it can't, you're pressing so hard into it that it can't twist, all of a sudden that field is going to drop. And it'll get weak. It won't totally disappear because there is residual magnetic in the planet itself. The metals in the planet, the electrons have lined up in rows and become magnetic themselves. So, much like a screwdriver that you turned into an electromagnet by putting some electrodes on it, it becomes a magnet. When you remove those electrodes, then it's not a magnet. It still retains some residual energy for a while, though. And it is slightly magnetic for a little while, even without the probes on it. That's the effect I'm talking about that happens on a planetary scale. Ta-da! You guys kind of wrapped your head around it. Good. And here we go. Boom. Thank God the CME isn't hitting us too, because that would just be even worse. But we did get hit with the flare. We are getting hit with the proton event. We are also getting hit with the CME from the 6th. All right. And now, game on. Let's give it on over here. Come here, US. Come back over here. All right. Now, look. Nice and quiet here. Nothing new. All right. They've turned from red to yellow. So there hasn't been anything new just in the past few minutes. But we have seen energy shifting and down here as well. You got to remember this pressure is coming up from below the plates and pushing these plates like up into the screen at you. All right. Some of these plates don't want to move. Other ones want to push up towards you. And we're seeing our earthquakes on the plate boundaries and at your weak spots. You know, it looks for the path of least resistance. So watch out for a potential new spot to break out. Oh, here we go. Just as I was saying, it had died down here. They've just had another quake here. 2.6. All right. It's not big, but it's an indication of our new little area, our new weak spot. Everybody in Malibu, I would get out of there because the slopes are already saturated, primed for landslides, right? And if you have earthquakes causing liquefaction as well, you guys understand what liquefaction is when the ground shakes and turns into almost quicksand. That can cause more landslides, mudslides in this region that is already weakened by the weather. One thing causes another, causes more, causes others, causes more, causes other side effects. It's this cascading domino effect. And I was watching a report the other night, and a guy was saying, oh, it'd be cool to have the X flare hit Earth and we could get some cool looking auroras out of it. And I'm like, yeah, you get some cool looking auroras out of it, but you don't want an X flare hitting the planet. And this is why. And yeah, we're going to catch some auroras out of this. I'm sure we'll see some, we might even see low latitude auroras. So, anyways, I think that'll be about it for now. Let me just, one more time for anybody that showed up late. Here's your, oh, wait, no, that's the 6th. Let me get it back to today's X flare. Right there. Oh, let that load up. Okay, so not Earth facing, but we still got X-rays and the proton storm from it. Not good. All right, we don't need any more energy. And now we've had this event. Thankfully, it wasn't facing us, but guess what? We have a huge sunspot that is facing us, and this kind of activity excites the other ones. So hold on. This is not over yet. And then just one more time out of this one. If we could get, not that, I want, yes. So here we've had our long duration X flare coming down out of it, back down towards C range. We're at C 1.5. So this energy is going to absorb. And from this point forward, we're going to start seeing results already. Okay. All right, I got to get going. I got other stuff to do, but I will be back later on tonight with our nightly report. And if anything kind of pops off in between now and then, I might have to come back on again. All right. But for right now, that's it. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I will be back.